Hello everybody, happy Friday. Getting ready to talk about And Just Like That with my friend Nikia, who will be joining us shortly. Ooh, this was a good episode. A really, really good episode. Hi everybody, happy Friday. Got my notebook ready to go. Hey Debbie. Where is Nikia? Nikia, make a request. Where is Nikia? There she is. I see you. I'm loving these earrings. Y'all got to work with this puff because I love my hair in a puff. It's so easy.
I am,
girl,
Instagram was not indicating to me that you were live.
Girl, and I had a problem getting on live. It was so crazy.
Hey, girl.
But we're here now. Hey, girl.
Happy Friday.
Hey, happy Friday.
I'm glad to join you. This episode was so good.
So good. I mean, so many things. Where should we begin?
Penis pumps.
You know what? I was so happy that was the storyline because it felt like the old Sex in the City, right? Didn't it? This episode really made me feel like I feel like season 2 is better.
They're giving us the sex, putting the sex in the City. They're giving us funny storylines that we remember about some of the hookups that they get with are a little wonky and crazy, and I keep continually see that as we get into further into the season and further into the episode.
Yeah. No, I mean, I thought, because I love that Seema is so progressive and sex-free and just so casual about it all, and just seems to have, well, I'm not gonna say she doesn't have any hang-ups because she does, but she was like, nothing surprises me, right? And then when old boy pulled out that penis pump, I was like, oh.
But why was it a 1962 penis or a 1930s penis pump? I never seen that kind before. It had a little, it looked like a bike pump.
It was. And did you hear her say that he I guess washed it out and dried it?
No, I did not hear that.
Yes, girl. She said when she was talking to Carrie, or maybe with him, she was talking when he was saying that her vibrator was too much. She was like, I'm sorry, you're drying your penis pump in my dick rack? That's too much.
That, first of all, that thing,
girl.
Okay, and then he had the nerve to judge the vibrator, but I'm used to a vibrator sound. It would be nice though if they made a quiet vibrator.
Well, I think the issue with him was the fact that he was right there and we just had sex, and now you're going to pull out a vibrator. I think it's not the sound. I think it's the insult.
Yes, absolutely.
That they just had
I'm
sex.
pulling out a vibrator because you didn't finish the job, boo.
Patrick said they're trying to make Seema Samantha. You can't replace Samantha. I mean, as far as I hear you, Patrick, though, as far as just making her as racy as possible.
I see where they are trying to add a character in there like that, free-spirited, very in tune with their sexuality, very wealthy, very on par. And somebody said and commented when I put the video up on YouTube that Seema's dog was actually Samantha's dog, or looked very, very similar. I never knew Samantha had a dog.
Oh, I don't know. And you know what? Let me just take a moment and say, we're talking about And Just Like That on Max, just for anybody that's joining, like, what are they talking about? We're talking about the Sex and the City, reboot. But yeah, I don't know. That would be interesting to me because that dog's probably dead. So
yeah,
that would
I
be
don't know
interesting
if
to me.
I never knew Samantha had a dog. She doesn't seem like.
She did in the
Oh,
movie. She got a dog because she was
okay.
remember the dog would hump everything, and so that's why she took it because it reminded her of
Yes.
herself.
Okay.
So yeah, she did get a dog. I remember when she came back for Carrie's wedding, or so she came to Carrie's party, and she had gained a lot of weight or gained some weight, and they were like, "What is that?"
Yes.
Remember Anthony said
Yeah.
that to her. Remember?
Okay.
So yeah, she did have a dog. She did have a dog. But yeah, I loved like the storyline with Seema. I absolutely loved. It was, and I love the storyline with Carrie and our guy Peter Hermann on the bike. But I hated. Here's what I hate. I hate when they do this. I hate when it's a guy that I want to see more like an arc with, and they just, it's like they make him a crazy person, which is characterized. So he's done. We won't see him again. But but I love Peter Hermann. We both love him from Younger. I love him from Blue Bloods and just all the things that he's been in. But to me, when they collided right on the bike path in New York City, he seemed a little obnoxious. Although I get it, being mad about something, but those bikers in New York City, they feel like they run the world. That's a whole other episode within itself. They are obnoxious and they think that they run. Look, you're wrong. You're on a bike. You see somebody, like cut it out. He was like we wouldn't have I would not have gone to him with urgent
girl. When I tell you, I wrote that down in my notes. Bicyclists drive me insane. The entitlement is way out of line. It's too much for me. I saw that scene. I immediately got anxiety, and I was like, you put the brakes on. Why you acting like you ain't got no damn brakes on that bike?
Right. Cars go around. Like, why are you riding a bike that fast in the city that you can't go around? Like, slow down.
Pump the brakes, as they would say. I just did not. That scene, that interaction or that initial, I'm like, why did they bring Peter in like that? Because I swear, when I saw him coming and he's hollering, "You're move out of the lane," or you're if you don't.
He was obnoxious. We never would have gotten, like, I never would have, even if I never would have gone to urgent treatment. It wasn't her fault. It was as much his fault as it was hers. More so his, coming from me, because he should have swerved.
You don't know. Swerve. He had 3 options: swerve, brake, or stop.
Brake.
Just like,
yes. But see, it's the obnoxiousness. It's the entitlement. I'm just, they're just riding in New York City of all places. They're out of control.
It is no different here in Chicago. You want the same rules as drivers, but your ass won't stop for pedestrians. How does that work? I thought.
No. And here's the thing. They want the same rules as drivers, but then when the light is red, they're swerved, they run the lights, they're going in and out of traffic. Pick a side. You're going to be like a car, or you're going to be a bike.
On that. But if I open my door because you're not paying the fuck attention while riding what do you think this is? A nonstop video? And everybody must get out of your way? I just cannot. It, like, literally, I get, because it's worse to me downtown and on the north side than anything in Chicago. It's an entitlement. It's like, hit me if you want to. And my grandfather used to say, don't be dead right.
And that's what he was. It would have, and then for her to feel like, this is the thing that got me, because let's move beyond the bike collision. So Carrie being too nice, as so many women are, to their detriment. She's too nice. She sits there. Who has the time? She's sitting there for hours while he's waiting in urgent care to be seen, and then waiting on him to be seen. And then she's sitting there when he comes out. And my thing is, if you feel so guilty about it, and we know you're rolling in the dough, pay for it. Pay for it. Like you done came there for support, pay for it. If I would have been like, if I'm Carrie, I would have been like, let me pay for it, no problem. But then beyond that, to show up, here's the audacity to me. When you know someone is like their credit card doesn't work, maybe they're on hard times financially based on signs that you see. Who confronts the person and says, you seem broke, so I brought you some food? I mean, she walks into this big old apartment and clearly he's not broke. She made all these assumptions, but then she's going to say, well, I brought you all this food because you seem broke.
What she said.
She didn't say that, but that's what she said.
If I seem broke, pay the damn medical bill, ma'am. That's more expensive than, I don't want your crusty soup.
And then we're done. Pay the bill. Yeah, that was nice to meet you.
To me, I could see the struggle and the writers trying to make a reason for her to come over. The exchange was very awkward. You could have just been like, oh, I got you a check, or you know, it seems like you're down in hardship. Here's half of the medical payment. I
would have just been like, if she felt like he was hard up on cash, I would have said, you know what? No, I insist. Let me pay for this, you know, whatever. Let me pay the bill. And then we're done. You don't have to go buy out half the soup in the grocery store to bring to his apartment.
And also insult the man. Like, come on.
Yes. That's insulting. Like, the audacity to say to somebody, I brought you food because you seem broke. I mean, what is happening? Who says that? And then 5 minutes later, she's making out with him. I mean, just because he says he's not broke, that don't mean he's not broke. I mean, he could have been in a friend's apartment. And that's the other thing. When that guy came on, walking up in there with the dry
he seemed like you're kissing up on my man. I honestly thought they were together, the way that he was so aggressive in his what are you doing, you know. And I understand you may have a business partner that is dropping the ball or whatever, but it was just their relationship was a little too weird for me. And I'm like, girl, get up out of there. Every sign is okay, I see this is my time to exit. I see y'all got work. Let's catch up later. Let's do a real date.
Patrick said it's giving very much, why are you here, girl? He was like, send him a get well card. Wait, Debbie said something funny. I'm trying. Patrick said, write the check. A conscious cuisine, right? Debbie said Carrie felt too obligated.
Get that?
Yes, I did not get
oh
that
my God,
at all.
My fault. In actuality, you know, I would have had a whole argument in the street.
It's not. And she's a New Yorker. She knows it's not her fault. And I mean, girl, the way those pants he had on and everything.
He did not look attractive. No, right.
It's not my Peter Hermann.
That too. I said, once I realized it was him, I'm like, Peter, they had.
Right. How are you showing up? I didn't recognize it was him because the guy seemed so obnoxious and just the way he was dressed.
Because when I was him being in that, like you said, a very obnoxious role. Most of his roles are very chill, sexy vibes he gives. And so with this character, he get out the way and screaming and hollering. Who are you?
Well, I guess that's acting. I guess we know he can act because he pulled it off. Because I was like, even though I wanted him to be different. But the thing that I have to say that I love about Seema, about Carrie, about all the ladies is that we are seeing women, and I thought about this when I was watching. Now we're opening the doorway because first season people were like, you know, I don't know. It's not working, but now we're getting into a groove with this, right? And it is normalizing what I love and feel like needs to be normalized, and that is women in their 50s and beyond having sex, right? Having romance. Let's take the clothes off. Let's see bodies. You know what I mean? Let's show it. And we're getting bits and pieces of that. I mean, nobody does it like Cynthia Nixon. Like Miranda is gonna show you body, like head to toe. She's like,
here it is,
you know, all along. She gives you, like, even more than Kim Cattrall, she gives you, I'm having sex and I am like in it
all the time,
all the time, all the time. But I love that it, like, I feel like this could be not just 2 seasons, it could be 3, 4, 5. Like, we can really ride this out for as long as these women want to do it, giving Kim Cattrall more of a chance to really come back and be a part of this show, you know, kind of laying that foundation. But I really felt that way. I was like, this has legs.
Like, I just don't see her. It would, don't you feel if she came back in full fledged, it would be a little awkward there? Like, no, how can you?
No, not if you write it right. And if the writers, you know, if they ever come off strike, if the writers get it together, they definitely can write. I mean, think about it. It could be this arc of her being mad and Carrie and them, you know, kind of bumping into each other throughout the city and then coming together, maybe some episodes in and talking it out. And then beyond that, kind of getting back to where they were before. Yeah, if they write it right, it would be something I would, I would be like,
but they like, yes, that. They would have to definitely write it right. And really, because there is a thing about, you know, a lot of people don't talk, they talk about relationships with, you know, heteronormative relationships or heterosexual relationships, you know, or even homosexual relationships, or just like more romantic relationships breaking up, but no one ever really goes into depth about friendships breaking up. And they're just as hard, and it's just as a very complicated situation, I feel, to navigate. And it would be beautiful to see how they come back together. That those first couple of times of hanging out is not going to be the same. There's a big gap of time that has gone past where Samantha has not been involved, and to see how moving forward looks like and what it looks like. It's not going to be easy. And maybe we can get it, but I don't know. I just feel like Kim Cattrall is just really like turned off. It's like, if you've ever been...
but meanwhile she dipped her toe in the water, right? She's going to be a part of this season. We don't know in what kind of way, but last season we were like, ain't gonna happen. But now there's a toe in the water. It could be more. I mean, one of my favorite scenes in the entire franchise is in the movie when Big has second thoughts and doesn't show up, and the girls go on the honeymoon anyway. And when Samantha comes in that dark bedroom and is feeding Carrie, I tear up every time I see it. Because it's like you said, friendships can be such a beautiful thing. There's such important relationships throughout our lives. And for her to be that vulnerable with her friend, and for her friend to say, you know, okay, I love you enough. Let's get you well. You got to eat. Like, that moment to me between those two. And that's why I feel like their friendship on screen was so special. I want to see that. I want to see them get past what's going on. When she sent the flowers for Big's funeral, I was so moved. Like, I'm hanging on for that as a longtime fan. Like, I want to see this friendship, like, more than everything else.
Yeah,
it's about these girls and their friendships. And so I always feel like there's something missing. You know, even I love the new girls, and I love, like we were saying, the writing is getting back to the Sex and City of old, but I really want to see, you know, that friendship repaired. I want to see her come, like, even if it's like the last episode in the series, you know, they finish it and they're like, it's the series finale, and she comes back and like the 4 of them having brunch, I would be there. I would keep rewinding it and watching it. Like, that to me would be the biggest thing. Yeah, Debbie said Miranda just rips off her clothes.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean.
But you know what I mean?
But I do feel that they need to, not in a 30-minute episode, oh, you know, she's back. Yeah, it would need to be a series.
It's a series.
Yeah.
It needs to be a series. Just like, and they've been whetting our appetite with it all along, right? First season, there were moments and they were texting, right? And now we know that there's going to be at least a phone call or something more this season. I mean, listen, I don't know where Kim Cattrall is with all of this, but maybe her heart is softening. Maybe she's changing her mind, and we'll see. But I'm open to the journey. I'm very hopeful about that.
I love Samantha. So if she could come back, I'm the type of person I hate to disappoint myself. So I'll be like, nah, you know what I mean? I don't see it being possible because like I hate to get excited in the thought of it all. That
oh girl. I'm like daydreaming about it. I'm hoping. I'm like I can see what they're wearing, where they're gonna be, how it's gonna play out. Like just let me in the writer's room. I'm ready. I got ideas.
Really, because I also think too, like again, we always want to take our romantic partners and do therapy, but what about your friendship? I mean, these are all relationships, and a lot of times people have never been taught emotional, skills or communication and how to communicate with people. So a lot of times things are either yelled at or left unsaid. Someone feels slighted. It's not addressed. And I really would love to even see that, like some like cathartic moments, sisterhood, bonding, going. It would be so fun.
It would be fun, right? For the four of them to go to therapy. I would love that. We're giving you all the ideas, writers. Here's the strike is over. Let's get back to it. I'm just Patrick said, I'm nervous about the Wexleys. This comp controller stuff is given. We about to have some issues. Yeah, I hate when they mess with people's marriages. When it's a solid marriage. We got enough single girls and people who are in relationships and not married.
Alone.
Leave the married people alone. Let them have marital issues, like just little things, but don't stop it. The breakup with Steve
not only we're done. The breakup with Steve, the death of Big, like we had to resolve with that because of his own personal issues out off screen. But like,
I'm glad you said
I should have said the murder, not the murder. But, I'm trying to heal. I'm trying to heal.
Let him die. But I'm sorry. I'm trying to move on, but I can't.
But I do.
It just
think that
didn't have to happen.
With the, LTW and her husband, like first let's really address the elephant in the room, and it's that damn mother-in-law. Get her in check, because she only announced him running for controller to impress her daddy a little bit, but definitely the mama over there who was talking a whole bunch of mess. I'm over her, so first address that, and that would help repair a lot of the issues that's going on between LTW and her husband. What's the husband's damn name? He's such a mama's boy, I can't stand it. What's his?
Oh, he is. I don't know on the show, and I'm trying to think of his name. I know Patrick knows, because he was in Hamilton, and I thought it was so cute, because he plays George Washington in on the stage in the original cast of Hamilton. To have him dress up as George Washington as a costume, I thought that was great. A great nod to Hamilton. Yeah, I love that. Very cute. I loved it. Very cute. Very, very cute. But yeah, I love the chemistry between he and Nicole Parker. I love them as a couple. Oh yeah, thank you. Thanks, Patrick. Yeah, I would like to see, the mother-in-law, as I said, get together with Billy D. Williams, because I can never get enough of Billy D. Williams. I love when our legends have moments like this, to see him, and Nicole Parker did a lovely post about having, Billy D. Williams on the set playing her father on her Instagram. Go and look at it. It's so lovely. And I love that. And I want to see more of it. I want to see,
like you just said, and it makes me happy to see a lot of our legends that have not been in front of the screen for a while. I feel like this show is giving them that platform, I don't want to say to resurrect their acting career, but definitely to, give them opportunities, because it, as in Hollywood, in their ageism, there's this cutoff where unless you're a Tom Cruise, unless you're, it's a Harrison Ford, Denzel Washington. I feel like all of those upper echelon actors, unless you're that, you kind of get left on the table as just like not.
But that's why these
so
types of shows with people are so important, because it shows you that there's life after 50 people, and it's not just somebody playing a mother or playing a grandmother or playing these one-dimensional characters. They have depth. So I love that. Deb says she loves Billy D. Williams. We're being produced by Patrick, who says we need to talk about Nia. And that fine man that she hooked up with in the bar. I thought that was so cute. But you know what bothered me about that? Why did we get to see it?
What bothered me is that would have been the perfect lead-in for Gary. What was happening?
Exactly.
Right.
Where is Tucson?
I thought to myself, oh my God, I thought I knew
that's what was going to happen.
He's going to be in here. And then the what's his name? Dijman, or who's the one that Kamora Lee was married to? That's who he looked like to me. Or had a baby with. Huh? No.
Russell Simmons?
No, the really chocolate.
Russell Simmons? Oh, the one for Love Will Never Do Without You, that video?
What's his name?
What is it?
Diamonds. Okay, I thought it was Dijman or something. Okay. Him.
No.
I thought it was him, the actor, and I thought, oh, this is a good one. Okay. I did.
You thought that was him? What?
I did at first glance.
What? Girl, not even close.
Yes.
Are you serious? No.
Chocolate, handsome, tall, like, and it just, I just saw him for a second, and I was like, okay, that is not him. I would have definitely loved, though, if Gary made an appearance. I would have been like, this is the perfect time. And yes, they should have shown that sex scene. What was it like?
I wanted to see that. Let's show everybody having sex.
Unless there's something in Pittman's, where she won't be naked or show her body.
I mean, that's fine, but we can show the guys. If we're gonna see Seema's dad bod guy he got with, then let's see the fine dude that Nia was with. Let's see that bod. Come on. Stop it. Enough with you. So I said, Patrick said he wanted to see the sex scene too, and Napoleon said, yes, he was fine chocolate. Yes, he was. He said Nia had sex last season. No, it needs to be every season. Every time
because that means
they hook up, let's see it.
They do seasons as years. She went a year without it, girl. Okay.
Don't start. Don't even know.
I was hoping that it would have been as soon as she saw Gary. I would have been putting the signals out there, whatever that is, sitting with a little bit more leg open to show the light is on.
I mean, and the pride to me is so amazing to me. And listen, no judgment, but the walk, what is known as the walk of shame, like they're just rebranding that. Like Nia was walking home, like after having sex, having her one night stand, like,
yes,
hey, I got on the same clothes yesterday, so what?
Okay.
And I mean, it's just like rebranding it all. I mean, she was walking, it was like
reclaiming the shame of it all, because we should not have, we shouldn't put the stigma of shame attached with sex. Like it definitely when it comes with women, like we've been shamed for a while. It's a brand new day. We are strutting it like,
Patrick said Nia was walking home like, I smell like sex. Like I just had sex and you didn't. Like she was like, yes, I had sex. I mean, it was like such a strut. I don't have that confidence. I definitely do not.
Just
what? A one night stand. going home like the morning after, walking home, and the clothes I had on the night. Yeah. I listen. I'm just not.
Yeah,
That's my
I mean,
issue
like,
though. Hey, do y'all? But I don't feel comfortable
there's
doing
been
that.
times in my life where you're only needed for the thing. Do your thing, and let me do my thing, and then I don't need to hear from you ever again. For what? You served your purpose. Thank you.
Oh my God.
And well received. It only happen. I'm not saying I'm out here, oochie coochie and everybody, but there's times in life that it happens and you move on.
I mean, listen, people say, listen, even if women do that,
Do
men
me.
do that, like, do you. There you go. Patrick said Che needs
Let's
to go.
talk about
okay,
Miranda.
So let's talk about Miranda.
So,
well, I do have to say, this is the happiest that I have been with Miranda since she has been with Che.
Yeah.
She is finally acting like a mother. For her to make the grown-up decision to move out and move in with Nia, which, by the way, I cannot wait for that whole Odd Couple episode of them not getting along, because that is coming. They both have well, Miranda used to have a strong personality, but she definitely has opinions. But I was glad. And I'm glad that Steve said, I'm not moving out.
That's exactly what we said we wanted to happen.
It was perfect.
He should not move. Yes. Let her move out.
Let her move out.
You move.
You cheated, you move out. That should be a written rule. It should be a law.
You go.
You cheat.
Yeah, that's
get out.
It.
You go.
And go.
That's it. I automatically get the house and everything.
Exactly.
Custody of the kids, all of it. Because
the world will be a better place if there's less confusion with it all. I mean, we could have did this last season, honestly. Yeah.
Girl, put it on the books. Put it on the books. You heard it here. Yeah. You heard it here. Put it on the books.
We could have did this last season, but I do think, and I am interested to see, like you said, Nia and Miranda both. Well, Nia definitely has a strong personality. She's going to tell you how it is. No filter, no chaser. Miranda, on the other hand, I still like, she's definitely, trying to embrace her femininity, soft era, not be so hard hitting, I guess. I guess that's exactly, but
Miranda, like all of a sudden, like when did the lobotomy come in? Like why is she so different? Like I don't get it, And I mean, listen, it just doesn't make sense that even though she found love and maybe true love for herself for the first time, right? It just doesn't mean that it changes her entire personality.
Because to me, a person that fully loves you is going to love you who you are and all your flaws, kind of like what Steve did, and you don't have to change yourself or do some freaky deaky shit that's really not you yet. It may be you in the future, but it definitely ain't.
I don't think that she, I could definitely get on board with Miranda really not knowing herself or being honest about who she really is and what she was really open to, right? And she's exploring her sexuality, and I guess that opens up parts of you that maybe were never exposed. Like, I'll give her that. But I still don't think, and I'm not speaking from personal experience, I still don't think that it changes at the core who you are. You know what I mean? And everybody says it. Deb said, I like who Miranda was. And I feel like for the writers, there was a way for her to explore her sexuality, go on a different way, have this relationship with Che without just everything that she is. It just doesn't make sense to me, and I don't like it. But I do feel like I love her getting up early, and I'm glad she's not getting any sleep. She doesn't deserve any sleep. Never sleep again. You slept back and forth. Do whatever you got to do. I don't care. You busted up the whole thing. You wrecked it. Now you made this bed. You sleep in it. Oh, she never gets sleep. I was happy Che and her friends were up. I was like, open the door. Don't close it. Open it up so she can hear the whole conversation.
And see, like, her and Che are and there's nothing wrong with, like, it just is, her and Che are so different. right? You know, Che's up until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. No judgment on smoking weed. Do you, boo? But at the same time, you know, I'm in here sleeping. And I just don't see the commonality outside of sex with the both of them. You know, and then it seems as though Miranda is always catering into what Che's mood is, and that's starting to get on my damn nerves.
And tiptoeing around her mood, so overly apologetic, which again, it just doesn't seem like who she is. And if her representative, so to speak, right, is showing up right now as they're in the honeymoon phase of this relationship, I'd love to see when the real Miranda shows up and they, you know, and confronts the strong personality that is Che.
Both, you know, when Miranda first met Che, that is the Miranda that was the original Miranda in her personality. As soon as her and Che started getting closer, Miranda started lowering herself a little in order to appease Che. To me, that's not love, or it's a very diluted, delulu, a little not, it's a delusion version of love, and it's not love. You know, I have a family member kind of going through the same thing. Like, you think it's love, but if you have to totally alter who you are foundationally, it's not.
But I don't think that Miranda made this decision to be different so she can catch Che, or I think that this is just how she's being written. I think that they are like, I don't get it. I don't, and I've listened to the podcast about the show from the writer's room and everything, and they just like, they're not explaining it to me. They just talk about the relationship because there was so much backlash with the way that they handled it from the first season. People hated it.
And they still kind of
right?
Do.
Well, their goal this season was to soften her up. So we see her crying. We see her doing things like coming out on the couch to sleep with Miranda in the last episode after, you know, and she chose not to have sex with her husband and to come and sleep on the couch. Like, she's making decisions that seem like she's in this partnership and that she really cares about Miranda, which to me seems kind of out of character for who Che was in season 1. Che was like out for self.
But
you
I
know,
still
you
see
roll
that
with it or get off.
in Che,
you
a
know,
lot.
And yeah, but she's not as harsh as she was in the first season. And I think Miranda is, I hope she comes back to who she really is, you know, because it's true. Patrick was saying that, you know, Miranda, when she was yelling about the show and how they were treating her and it's not fair and all that stuff, and Che shut it down. And she just went along with it. I didn't get that. Because anytime anybody else in a previous relationship tried to stand up to Miranda that way, they would get shut immediately down. So where is she? Girl knows why open.
Too, it was interesting how in this last episode they wrote about, you know, some of the viewers, or they had the focus group or whatever, and the feedback sounded very similar to the feedback that Sarah Ramirez was getting as the character Che. It was kind of like, you know, crossing there.
Yeah. Sarah, they were coming after Sarah, but Sarah was like, listen, talk to the writers. If you don't like my character and what's happening with Che, she was like, talk to the writers. Somebody said Miranda is playing small.
Very small.
Yeah. I agree with that. She is.
It's so small, it's annoying. Okay. You know, it's like a little, you know, yappy dog or a little rodent that just won't shut the hell up. And it's giving, I still feel that there's an element of her, yes, you're exploring this new self, but and with that, you don't know who this new self is. So everything is very insecure. Everything is very unsure. Everything is very fumbly bumbly. You're not standing in you yet fully, unapologetically. And that's what we're used to. And I do feel that, and I would love to see an arc of the old Miranda coming back and was like, and feeling like, okay, I'm sick of this shit. And see how Che responds, because it could get ugly.
Yeah. Yeah, because I would love to see that too. I would love to see Carrie, but Carrie kind of doesn't do that. But she should have done it when Che and Miranda were having sex in her apartment, you know, or fooling around. And Miranda was supposed to be there taking care of her. That would have been the come to Jesus for me. I'm glad Miranda is back in New York and out of LA, but I feel like her friends need to have her come to Jesus. I mean, I think Anthony could be the one to say, who are you? Like, what are you doing? Like, where's Miranda? Where's Miranda?
It would be great.
Like, I'd love to see that happen. And I'd love to see Nia, although Nia doesn't know the old Miranda. From day one, she's been the bumbly, you know, oh, are you a professor? You know,
I would love to see.
I can't stand it.
Samantha snatch her up too. Now, you know, Samantha's no whole bar. She
yeah. That's why we need Samantha back. I love her so much, and she's coming. She is coming back. Yeah, but I want to talk about Charlotte. You know, we were talking about last episode how we love the storyline, and we felt like they're finally giving Charlotte something with some meat. I do feel like this season that they kind of got away with that, and they went back to the kids, you know, with Rock and the whole modeling thing. I mean, to me, if you're going to go there with her being a teen model, then let's take that somewhere. Where is that going? Do they want her to be in the ad? Do they want her to be a model now, to come back to modeling? Like, give us something. I did love their costume at the Halloween party, because them dressing up like the people from the Americans, that was hilarious. And then how nobody got
into the model shoot. If you don't burn the wig at this point, sir,
Girl, that was the corniest. It was so corny. It was like not even cute. Yeah. It was, and I love Harry. I do, but it was corny.
I was like, I would have snatched that wig off and been like, get home and leave us the hell alone, because you're going way too far with this. Right. You know, I mean,
and we already told them where to go with Charlotte. Let her go work in this gallery. Let her get this job back in the gallery, and let's have some workplace, like, you know, it could be one-offs. Like, just like before, there were so many things that happened with the girls at work, at the gym, at different places. Like, let's give Charlotte some stuff.
Like, I thought that we were going in that direction, and
we were less, and now we're going back in the direction of the whole milk
and, you know, like, I get it. Because how old is Rocky supposed to be?
I don't know. Like,
okay, so still like 13. Not in high school
like that.
Okay. Because at this point, like, at 13, you can let the reins dial back just a tinge, right? I mean, I just feel like Charlotte is just way too still, like, overbearing and over the top, you know? Like, I don't know. It's giving, you know, Disney Channel sitcom with their storylines. And I'm just kind of like, we cannot do that. Like, it's giving Full House and annoying.
Right. Not even Fuller House, but Full House. Yeah, I mean, I can't. I absolutely cannot. With what's going on with Charlotte. And I love Charlotte. Like, I love the original girls. I love the new girls and what they're adding. I say keep them, and I want to see them, you know, developed, you know, with their storylines even more.
Could they also be showcasing, you know, which I thought about, like, Charlotte's, through the whole Sex in the City, her whole drive was get married, have kids, get married, have kids, get married, have kids, right? And she has been true to that, and she's done that. But now that she's done that, it's like, what is there left of her?
Well, to me, it doesn't have to be that. Like, we're talking about her going back to work, but she doesn't have to. I mean, think about how many movies and television series exist with moms who stay at home. You know what I mean? They definitely could write something better for her. They just have to figure out what it is. I mean, she could do volunteer work. They could have something more interesting. I mean, the MILF thing was a miss. because her being involved at school, it could have been a better storyline. I mean, we have Abbott Elementary, an entire show that revolves around classrooms and schools at an elementary school. I mean, you know, let something happen at the school, write it well, let her volunteer. You know what I mean? I don't know, but write it and make it funny. You know, have her thinking she's a great baker or something and make cupcakes and they're nasty. Nobody wants to tell her. There are things that they can do with her. You can be a housewife or a mom and be interesting. It's bad writing.
It is. And I think that they don't really know what direction to take the character. So they just lazily lean on, oh, okay, we'll just have her, you know, have a MILF moment, or, you know, some random stranger danger wants, you know, rock to my, it's just nothing of interest. It was so uninteresting. I totally forgot about that part of Charlotte's story this episode. We could have swapped that and then replaced that with Nia bumping on her strut walk, sex strut walk, bumping into Gary.
We could have seen Nia having sex. We could have seen the sex scene. Put some time into that. You know what I mean? Or bumping into Gary. It's like, you know, there could be something where Charlotte has a secret admirer. Maybe it's Trey. Maybe it's, you know, somebody from the past that's sending her flowers and Harry's jealous. And she's like, you know, she could be friends with her ex-husband and developing that whole
Definitely.
There are things that can happen. They just need to figure it out. But what's happening is not working. It's not it. It's not it. And Charlotte deserves more.
Exactly. Who's saying this? She's treating her daughters like baby. Yes, Deb. I don't like
babies. Well, she wanted kids so badly. Yes, so she wants to be there. She wants to be this mom that really leans in. But you can still do that and still make her an interesting mom. I think about Blackish, right? When their kids, when the twins started getting older,
why are you bringing this one up? You already know the damn demo.
Okay, everybody who hasn't watched before, she has never watched Blackish. Give it here. Give it here.
It's not near me.
Pull it out of your wallet and give it here. Give me the black card. How do you not watch Blackish?
Because of that very reason. Like, I don't know. I just never did. I did, like, every time I'm like, okay, I probably should like tune in. Like, it's on Hulu. I could definitely start watching it.
Did you not see the episodes where all the girlfriends came back?
I saw clips because I love Girlfriends so much. So I saw clips online. I haven't seen the full episode and how it all came, but I absolutely love Girlfriends, and yes.
Anyway, for those who did watch Blackish, there were a lot of interesting storylines that they did with Rainbow, played by the great Tracy Ellis Ross, who, she did have a job as a doctor, but had, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids, right? And there was like, give me something. Adopt a baby, I don't know.
Go to work.
Do
something. And it could be definitely work of like passive work, but it's definitely a different.
She could volunteer while the kids are at school and her husband's at work. She can volunteer 3 days a week, and maybe something could happen at the volunteer. Maybe they accuse her of stealing money. You know what I mean? Or something like that. Something can happen. Yes, give us a little bit of drama that can be wrapped up in an episode, though. You know what I mean? But yes, they could do so many things, girl. They just got to fix it. That's just what needs to happen. Okay. So, let's do we want to talk about what's going to happen next week, or are you still like la 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 la?
How deep are you going to go? Okay, go ahead.
Deep. I'm just going to say one name. Aiden. They mentioned his name in the scenes for next week, And they were talking about him, and they said that he has been divorced
you got that
5 years,
from
and that he lives
the
in North
trailer?
Carolina. Yes, the scenes for next week. Yes, they were having a conversation about Aiden, what he's up to now. Yep, Aiden is coming back.
I
can't wait. I cannot wait. But he's divorced. That's what we were like, what's going to be the situation?
This is about to get juicy as hell. This is what, and that's probably why they didn't want to keep Peter Hermann on there, because they knew, you know, or, you know, that's why his character ended up being weird, or that it was a very like fling type of thing, because they knew that Aiden is going to come in and, you know, spice some things up. So I'm excited.
Yeah, but to me, wouldn't it be interesting with like a three-way thing with Patrick Hermann and Aiden and her once again trying to feeling torn, and then Aiden saying, I'm done. Like, I need for Aiden to get closure on this and not hurt her, but not like this, but like, I need him to put her in her place and say, what you did was messed up all those years ago. Twice you broke my heart, you know, over this guy. And I'm just, you know, no. I need Aiden to it needs to be an arc. They need to get close. She needs to feel the comfort and all that stuff. And then he needs to be like, you know what?
You said your phone went out. I'm sorry. He
needs to say, no, we can't do this. I'm done. I'm excited about Aiden coming back because I love him so much. He was too good for Carrie. And I get you love who you love, but she shouldn't have gone back with him the second time. She should not have cheated on him. It was just horrible how she treated him. And now this is time for Aiden to be like, no. She needs to chase him. If they're going to be together, she needs to chase
he could be
him.
Coming back. I mean, he's been married for a while, you know, and come back with some F-boy energy where he's just, I'm just out here.
But that's not him. But Miranda changed completely. I think Aiden's going to be the same free-spirited, easygoing, hippy-dippy kind of guy.
Wouldn't that be kind of like, wow, you know, we're not used to seeing Aiden like this. And it wouldn't be necessarily, yes, it's not him. He did try that, though, to be a jerk. I remember at one point,
when he was mad at her and he was in the bar with that girl drinking and Carrie was unfazed. She was like, you're being childish. You know, but it doesn't work for him. It's him just, you know, being a big pouty baby.
Yeah.
That doesn't work. Nobody likes
a pouty baby.
But it doesn't work.
Just
not for a grown-ass man.
See, like maybe Carrie wanting more or feeling a little bit more. And then he's like, no, I'm just here for a good time, not a long time. So, you know,
Yeah. Yes. That's what I need. I need Aiden to like make her feel like,
that's what
I'm
talking about, Patrick. So Patrick said,
and it leaves her in the middle of the night with a post-it note.
See?
And then she calls.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. He just is on his like, I'm just trying to like kind of revenge sex, but not outwardly stated, and just kind of like playing her along, being his, you know, romantic self that we're used to as viewers and that she's used to, and then wham, throw a monkey wrench in that plan.
I love it. Okay, we got about 5 minutes left. Do you want to talk about what else you've been watching?
What else we've been watching, but I do feel like we'd be remiss not to mention the strike that's going on in Hollywood right now.
I know the writers and the actors. Now the actors have joined up. I'm worried, you know, one of my favorite times of the year is fall because it's when all the TV shows come back, right, on the major networks. And I've always loved fall for that because I'm such a TV-aholic. And now, you know, I knew with the writers, but I felt like they might get to some kind of agreement. But now with the actors joining up, like there's no, like, it's not happening. Because you got to be prepared right now. And for fall, you got to be shooting that stuff.
The fuck up of the executives did by putting that deadline article out. I don't know what they thought was going to happen or how they thought it was going to scare the writers, but that backfired bigly. They should have never put that out and put that statement out, because that fueled a fire inside of not only the WGA, but also, you know, SAG-AFTRA actors. And they were like, how dare you even spew all of this when some of y'all over here making 70 million a year, 300 million a year, and we can't get a 1% raise? Are you?
But not that. I mean, I'm very with them on this whole AI thing and what actors need and writers to protect themselves from AI. I mean, that's a huge thing. And I mean, I think that they really need to be protected when it comes to that. That AI thing bothers me more than anything. I mean, as much as I love the little assist that comes with the little chat GPT.
When it comes to deep fakes and not putting, you know, your face on other bodies, doing porn.
Yes. And writing. You can write you can put in a plot and write a book, write a script. But I mean, I will say this, that they're still glitchy when it comes to what it outputs. You know, there's still hallucinations, as they call it, when it comes to those programs for, you know, like Chat GPT and stuff. Not a lot of that stuff is accurate. It's very like But you can work around it. If you're writing fiction, if you put in a storyline, like I have friends who have written entire books on Chat GPT or on some kind of AI. I mean, it's like, and if they mess it up, listen, it gives you courage, and it doesn't allow you, in my opinion, to really use your mind and your own creativity. You know, instead of saying, you know, here's what, like how we talk about Charlotte and what's going to happen with her and the ideas that we have. You can put it in chat GPT and say, I want to write about this, write something about this character, Charlotte, and she's married and blah, blah. What are some stories that can happen with her?
I used it. Right? Because it's been therapeutic when it comes to crafting emails without cussing folks out. I could say it in a more professional tone and and to get my point across, right? Because
But I mean, like Patrick is saying, it's hurting every industry, and it really is. I think we do have to monitor it much more closely. I mean, think about kids in college, right? Writing papers and things like that. I was talking with one of my journalism professors from when I was in school, and we were talking about, you know, because he just retired, and he was like, one of the biggest issues that they have coming up and that they're dealing with now is kids using AI to write papers. And so, but you know what he says? He says something really interesting that I think is true. It's like cheating, right? You can do that to write your papers and make it through school, but once you get out in the real world, that's where you're going to be challenged, right? So it'll catch up with you. But you know, if you're in school and you want to do this and do that, and you're tired or partying too much, and it's easier to do that, you're going to do what you can do to make it through. Though, you know, a lot of times you aren't thinking about those lessons or the consequences in the long run. You're just, when you're that young, you're just getting through what's going on right now.
I know, you know, Clinton just got his bachelor's, and there were people that got caught, you know, cheating, using AI, using Chat GPT. The professors are very aware of it. You know, definitely higher ups are very aware of it. It is very scary that they were trying to have it in this new contract where they can scan your image and use it forever, your likeness forever. That is terrifying. I would never sign for that, never agree to that. And, you know, definitely the residuals. We are in a different entertainment industry now, and you can't have the same contract that you had in 1920 to apply to 2023, even though there are several people that are trying to have the same policies exist of what was going on long ago to now, and you can't do that. It doesn't translate, and it doesn't translate well, and there's always going to be a loser in that. And you know, I mean, go broke for what? I do think it is ridiculous that as creatives, you cannot make a decent livelihood just doing creative things, and that's it. Like you have to either be a bartender somewhere, waitress somewhere. Like, it shouldn't be after all these years and all the hard work that you put into it, you're still having to juggle 2-3 jobs to make it in Hollywood.
Struggle. Yeah, I agree. Well, with that, we're gonna let that be the last word. We're gonna wrap it up. We will see you all soon. I will not be able to be here next week. Let me say that. So we have to do it the week after, because I'll be on a flight at this time.
Have a safe flight.
So in 2 weeks, we'll give you 2 episodes. Thank you. Oh my God.
Girl.
That's
yes.
So
I watched.
good.
Yes. So good. So good. I watched it. The new episode. It's intense, but it's good. Yes. Yes. So the following week we'll catch you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, as always. Bye.